Ready? Okay. We'll call the Pownal Select Board regular meeting Thursday, February 14th, 2013 to order at 7 p.m. Agenda approval. Approval of the minutes to 7/13. Warrants, mail, transfer station supervisories monthly meeting, and old business, concert at the track, ACO ticketing, meeting I had with Peter last week on the hydro, and any new business the board has on their mind? With none being heard, take a motion.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approval of the minutes to 7/13.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Warrants. Excuse me. Accounts payable report 33. $215.13 in the amount of $10,138.40. The largest item in there is 62.92 tons of salt and some wastewater stuff and payroll transfer. Payroll 210.13 to 215.13 in the amount of $7,000.40. Accounts payable report WW 33. It's a wastewater fund 213 in the amount of $369,127.11. That would be our payment through the wastewater that we were reimbursed. Yes. Those are your warrants, folks. Motion on the warrants.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Mail. We have our EPA Superfund site report on the land restrictions on the tannery. It's an annual report that we get. It will be updated, and another report coming in. Our lawyers looked at this. There was a change in the sediment from Storm Irene, we were assuming. The monitoring had picked that up, and there will be another monitoring going on probably late this summer, midsummer anyways. Town of Pownal capital equipment note. This will be on our backhoe purchase. Here. We had our treasurer do some diligent searching on interest. She was able to grab a rate of 2.75%, which took the payment down from $15,609 a year to $14,600 a year. So in a 5-year span, we're saving a little over $5,000. That was a good job on her part. We need signatures. I need a motion to sign this.
Motion to sign it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town of Pownal will be hosting a rabies clinic and other vaccinations by request for dogs and cats. Pownal Center Firehouse, March 16th, 2013, from 8 until noon. It's a rabies clinic, Saturday, March 16th, 8 to noon, Pownal Center Firehouse. All right, we have the Spring of 2013 Household Hazardous Waste event will be held Saturday, May 11th, 2013. Town of Shasberry will hold an event to the towns of Shasberry, Stamford, and Pownal at the Shasberry Transfer Station from 9 to 12. More details will follow as we get closer to that date. Again, that's May 11th, 2013. Okay, and we have a letter from Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation on Vermont e-cycles. It's free to Vermont electronics recycling. It's who, where, what. And I'm going to let you touch on this more, Hap, when you get up here. I think it'll be a little easier. You understand it probably a little bit better. So we'll leave that a little out. We have a certificate of no appeal or suit pending. We hereby certify that on this date there are no appeals pending from the action of the listers or suits pending to recover taxes paid under protest relating to the April 1st, 2012 grand list of Pownal, Vermont. Given in our hands at Pownal, the County of Bennington's, this 12th day of February 2013. So to close this, we need a motion to sign
So
by
moved.
the board. We need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And last but not least, we have a tax sale set for March 15th, 2013. Please be advised that the tax sale will be held March 15th, 2013 at 10 a.m. And I am requesting one selectman to be present to represent the town at the site. All right, so that's March 15th. I would let you guys ponder on this unless somebody wants to step up at the moment. If not, next week.
I'll wait until March when we reorganize.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that, as long as we remember to pull it out and do that, all right. Want me to scribble on it? And that concludes our mail. Transfer station. Step aboard.
Basically, you touched on household hazardous waste. It's a spring event. I think Green Up Day is going to be just the week before that. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have updated flyers so that it can be announced again at the select board and posted around town and whatnot. The one thing that we met, I think it was last Tuesday, one of the more expensive items in there that I didn't know if they were going to continue to take is the fluorescent tubes. And what we're working on is the possibility of us packaging those tubes ourselves up at that event. So we eliminate the cost of having Clean Harbors take them. Mike is trying to get the rest of the details on that. If he can get the theoretically, if he can get the cartons, and if we can package them up, then they should be prepaid, and we can ship them off, and so we can avoid that additional expense as far as even though they passed that law. Well, actually, I was in a store today, and they should be taking them back, and they said at the present time they weren't, but they were going to start taking them back again. So things are still not as clear as they should be once they pass these laws. The electronic waste, I have this posted over to and I don't think there's anything new here, except that all this stuff is banned from the waste stream. At the present time, if you've got computers and monitors and televisions and printers, anything associated with a computer, you can take it to Casella's. That's the closest point at the present time, and they will take that for free. Now you have other electronic devices that they may charge for. And to touch on that, like I told you before, I'm working on the possibility of trying to do it at Pownal. I unfortunately haven't heard back from, I think it's Greenpoint, but I did do a cost estimate for the floor over there. And if we bid that out, then I don't think it would exceed $2,000 to do the flooring. Now, if something changed, I might be able to do it myself, and if that's the case, then we could cut that down considerably. But I base that on like a 60-40 thing. I think that's a lot of contractors do that. It's 40% for material and 60 for labor. So I'm still pursuing that. I'll have to get back with a good point. The other thing is, I planned on meeting Mike Bratcher. He's set up a meeting up in Rutland. There's a sorting center up there, and one of the purposes of this is comparing the current recycling costs based on sorting versus non-sorting. So there may be a potential to save money by adjusting how we do things over there. I don't know, but that'll be the 19th. So, other than that, I don't know if there's anything.
Okay, I've got one thing,
Yep.
and I don't think it's a big deal. It just needs to be kind of, I think, addressed. There was some questions about it. I got a call on it. I'm sure you did, somewhere down the road, on plowing.
I think I know where you're going.
Okay.
Okay.
The only problem I did get that I didn't totally understand, and I guess I'm gonna need clarification on, if the transfer station is open at 8, somebody shouldn't be opening the gate at 8. And to my knowledge, that was what the case was, and nobody was plowing.
I'll tell you what, Steve, I'm glad you brought this up. I don't think it's something I really want to discuss out in the open. What I would seriously appreciate is 1 or 2 select board members to meet with myself and Casey and see if we can't iron out. There seems to be some personal issues there, and maybe 1 or 2 of you guys might say something that I don't like. You may say something that he doesn't like, but I certainly would like that ironed out.
Oh, the only thing, I just wanna get that straightened out, because I want everybody working on the same page where it's comfortable and everything meshes together. I don't want confliction between you guys or anybody on the road crew, and it just...
And I mean, I could say things, but it would be counterproductive.
Yep.
I think that, you know, if you can get 1 or 2 of you guys together and we can sit down and go over that.
I have no problem with that.
One thing on that. Back months ago when we were talking versus compactor versus loaders,
Right.
it was brought up at that point that if you had a loader there, you could actually start plowing the yard out before anybody else got there. I mean, that was my under impression, that if the town's out busy,
Yep.
in my opinion, the highways are more important than
that's
the driveway in there.
That's fine, Mike. I guess, I
Why?
don't know, if you want to be at that meeting, like I say, I'd like to get this
But
straightened
why
out.
somebody wasn't there earlier knowing it snowed?
They were there before 8 o'clock.
Well, It was put to me that the last truck went by at 10 of 8 and nobody was there.
At what?
Well, what we should do then is, let's
Like I
do
said, I
that.
think-
Let's grab a couple guys that today's convenient, and have this meeting.
Yeah.
And mull it over, just so it kind of organizes, so everybody's on the same page. Because I don't think it's a big issue, it just needs to be organized a little bit and put it together. Okay. What we will do is, we'll get together on how many of us can meet, what would be convenient, and get a hold of you and the road foreman and set it up.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. With that said,
We're all set?
we are all set.
Okay.
Thank you, Hap.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. On old business, I met with Progress Partners last night and visited with them for a few minutes. They had called me, said they had some more information, and the scheduling of a concert the third week of July is still in the works at the park. They have great expectations of this happening, and will be back with us with further information, but at the moment it is still a go. A meeting I had with Peter last week on the hydro, Peter, our lawyer, Holden, our lawyer. There was a couple issues in the writing that needed a little bit more tweaking, so that's gone back to the drawing board to have them straightened out, and Peter's approval from there, and I'm sure he'll meet with us and go through all that, or at least get it back to us, so we'll go back through that again. Last issue, animal control officer. Steve is on internship being our animal control officer. I did find out this evening that he is actually still listed with the courts, so he can actually write tickets. We've left him at a little bit of a handicap because this is carried on a little further than what we expected, not having things resolved on having a dog officer in. So what I'm suggesting now is that we make a motion one way or the other to either have him able to write tickets or not. And probably being in the position he is, it probably wouldn't hurt if he could actually do some tickets in some cases. Because I gotta believe we're several more weeks out before we get this organized.
What do you mean, for tickets, like if you find somebody maltreating the animals or whatever? and-
Not licensed.
Not licensed, not having shots,
Okay.
doing something illegal one way or the other. If he picks up a strain that hasn't been licensed, doesn't have its shots.
We don't have until April 1st to do that.
Yeah, but if they weren't done last year, depending on the circumstances. Some of these
I don't
dogs,
anticipate a lot of ticket writing,
no, I don't either. I just,
just if he needs to.
right, I just feel bad that if we've tied his hands, we shouldn't be in that position, so.
I don't know, stipulation that if he has to, don't go ahead and write one, but
Yeah, well, we actually touched base with him a couple times on trying to, I hate to say it, but some people like to use it for a crutch to solve one of their problems, to relinquish the ownership to the dog to the animal control officer. And it's really not our responsibility to do that. I mean, people that own animals, it's their responsibility to take care of them,
Just like having kids.
whether, it comes at the end of their, the end of their life or the beginning of it. It's still their responsibility, and we shouldn't have to step in. This is something that's got out of hand in a lot of cases, and we're there to help people and stuff, but, we don't want to abuse it, so. Back to the ticket writing, what's your pleasures?
I make a motion that if he needs to write a ticket, he can write a ticket. He's qualified.
Technically, yeah, as long as you still set up with court and stuff, so you can go through all that.
Okay, we got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Successful. Okay, we will have our next meeting will be the 21st, next week. In it, I would like to have a personnel meeting in that particular 21st meeting. And other than that, if there is no new business before this board,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Like,
Aye. Thank you.